Have you ever felt like someone close to you was secretly working against your success? Maybe they smiled to your face but celebrated your failures behind closed doors. The ancient Stoics understood something profound about human nature that most people miss today. They knew that recognizing envy in others wasn't just about protecting yourself. It was about understanding the very essence of toxic behavior that can destroy your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his personal journal that we must be prepared for those who harbor ill will, disguised as friendship. Today, I'm going to share with you the timeless Stoic wisdom that will help you identify these dangerous individuals before they can harm your progress. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could save you years of unnecessary suffering. The Stoics viewed envy as one of the most destructive emotions because it stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of what we can and cannot control. When someone experiences envy toward you, they're essentially saying that your success somehow diminishes their own worth. This is a dangerous mindset because it makes them unpredictable and potentially harmful. Epictetus taught his students that envious people are prisoners of their own making. They've chosen to measure their happiness by comparing themselves to others, which is a recipe for perpetual misery. But here's what makes them dangerous. Their pain seeks an outlet, and often that outlet becomes sabotaging others. One of the clearest indicators of hidden envy is when someone lavishes you with praise, but then immediately follows it with a subtle put-down. They might say something like, "Wow, you're so lucky to have gotten that promotion. I guess being in the right place at the right time really matters." Notice how they've disguised their envy as a compliment while simultaneously diminishing your achievement. The Stoics would call this a form of false virtue, appearing supportive while actually undermining your confidence. Envious people have a peculiar habit of making your challenges seem insignificant. When you share difficulties you've overcome, they respond with phrases like, "That's nothing compared to what I've been through," or, "Well, at least you had help." This behavior reveals their inability to acknowledge that your success required effort and sacrifice. By minimizing your struggles, they're protecting their ego from having to admit that you might have worked harder or shown more resilience than they did. Perhaps the most dangerous trait of envious individuals is their barely concealed joy when you face setbacks. You might notice a slight smile when you share bad news, or they might offer hollow comfort while their eyes betray satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius warned about such people in his Meditations, noting that some individuals find pleasure in others' misfortunes because it temporarily relieves their own sense of inadequacy. Envious people often become information brokers, collecting and spreading stories that cast doubt on your character or capabilities. They'll share concerns about you with others, always framing their gossip as worry or disappointment rather than malice. The Stoic approach to dealing with falsehood is not to engage in defensive behavior, but to let your actions speak louder than their words. Seneca advised focusing on your own conduct rather than trying to control what others say about you. When envious people offer help or advice, there's usually a hidden agenda. Their assistance comes with strings attached or is designed to keep you dependent on them. They might offer to help you with a project, but then create delays or complications that sabotage your progress. This type of false support is particularly dangerous because it's hard to identify and even harder to address without seeming ungrateful. Now that you can identify these warning signs, how should you respond? The Stoics taught that our power lies not in changing others, but in strengthening our own character and judgment. First, practice emotional detachment. When you recognize envious behavior, don't take it personally. Remember that their envy says nothing about you and everything about their internal state. As Epictetus taught, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Second, limit your exposure to these individuals when possible. You don't need to cut them off completely, but be strategic about how much access they have to your personal information and emotional energy. Third, focus on your own progress. The best response to envy is continued success, achieved through virtuous means. Let your character and achievements speak for themselves. The ultimate goal isn't to become paranoid or suspicious of everyone around you. Instead, the Stoic approach is to develop discernment, the ability to see people clearly without being naive about their motivations. Remember that everyone struggles with negative emotions, including envy. The difference lies in how people handle these feelings. Some use them as motivation for self-improvement, while others allow them to poison their relationships and actions. By staying focused on your own path and maintaining your ethical standards, you create a natural barrier against those who would seek to bring you down. Your inner fortress becomes impenetrable not through walls of suspicion, but through walls of wisdom and virtue. The Stoics understood that recognizing dangerous individuals isn't about becoming cynical, it's about being prepared. When you can identify envy and falsehood in others, you protect not just your success, but your peace of mind. Remember, your energy is precious. Don't waste it on people who celebrate your failures or work secretly against your progress. Instead, surround yourself with those who genuinely support your growth and share your commitment to virtue. If this video helped you recognize some patterns in your own relationships, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Stoic Mind Fortress for more practical wisdom from the ancient philosophers. Your support helps us continue sharing these timeless lessons that can transform how you navigate the complexities of human nature.